So, Steve, you've seen that controversial penalty that was awarded to Belgium in the 119th minute of the game against Senegal in the 32 in the round of 32. What's your perspective?
Okay, so just as the decision was not very easy on the pitch, I can understand why it's controversial because it was not easy on the pitch. So looking at it, you can have a lot of ideas or have a lot of interpretation. Well, this is my own analysis. First and foremost, VAR is for obvious errors, right?
Yeah.
Things that were obviously missed, right? My first argument is that particular what's it called foul was not a clear and obvious error. You could interpret it in any way. You could let it go. You could. It's something that you could let go. So I don't think it's clear and obvious first and foremost. So referring it to the VAR, I feel that is you could have allowed the on-field decision to stand. That's first and
Yes.
foremost. Now, for the fact they referred it to VAR, the referee has to go to take a
And
look.
take a look. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, looking at that particular scenario, I can see why the referee, looking at it, will not have to give a penalty. Because if you really look at it in detail, there was a kick, a little kick from the Senegalese defender on the Belgian player. There was that little kick.
But the question I want to ask is
Yeah.
that there's intention too. So, for example, the defender was committed to making a challenge on the ball. He was committed. If you look at the aerial view, like the drone view, you see that he was committed to making that challenge and clearing the ball. And then last second, this Belgian foot appears. Um, how do you penalize the team for that when a defender was already like I'm already transitioning to make? He was even the striker was in his blind spot.
Okay, in terms of intention, it's not always the fact that you have to have the intention to commit a foul before it becomes a penalty kick. So, peradventure that you, for example, they play a corner kick or they play the ball into your 18-yard box and you spread your hands wild, whether you intended to hold the ball, handle the ball or not, as long as your hand is not in a natural position, irrespective of your intention, it's going to be a foul and it's going to be a penalty. So it does not always have to be your intention. So sometimes you commit a foul, it's not necessarily your intention to commit that foul. So another good example is when you endanger a player, reckless play, that you try to slide on the ground and there's a way you kind of hurt your opponent. That may not be your intention, but for the fact that you put yourself in a condition where you are not in control of your body, and that action hurt another player, you're
But
definitely going to be penalized.
I'm not actually seeing that in this scenario.
So
That's bad as
so no, if
hunt.
you take so that's why I understand why it took a while. If you slow down the game, watch it over. There was a little kick on the Belgian player. There was a that tiny kick. Now that's what I'm saying.
But there's this. It's football is a contact sport, so you
Yes,
can't touch anybody again. Like
but
what are we
that
playing?
kick,
Are we
but that
playing basket?
but no, but that kick made the player to go down. So are you saying so you could not rule it out? Did you get where
There are
I
two
feel
people. There are two people going for the ball, brother.
yeah.
Like there are two people going for the ball. I'm a defender. I'm going for the ball. It's supposed to be a case by case. This guy was going for the ball, and it just happened that the other guy too was going for the ball, and then nobody got the ball at the end of the day. But now they have awarded a penalty to Tillemans
Yeah, so where I feel it could have been brushed aside, it would have been referred first and foremost even
to the VAR.
to VAR. Yes, it's not a clear and obvious error. First and foremost, it should not be referred. But for the fact that they've referred it, yeah,
The
I
referee
can
will
see
award it as a penalty.
exactly, I can see why
So
the referee will
me,
award it.
I have a problem with VAR. The problem with VAR is that humans are introducing errors into the system because it's at a human discretion to advise the referee to go and check VAR. You understand? It's still at a human discretion to say there's no need to advise the referee to check VAR. So that human that's checking the VAR is actually that's referring the referee to you must check the VAR. Is actually the one introducing the errors into the system, and also the referee too is at their discretion to overturn the decision or not. It's also introducing errors to the system. I think that we are getting to an era whereby we don't need referees anymore. Why? Because almost everything we review, like if there's an offside, we have to use digital technology to check if it's an offside. Goal line technology, corners, fouls, free kicks, penalty kicks. What do we need a referee for? Why don't we automate VAR? AI has already gotten mature to the point. AI is very good at pattern recognition. AI can recognize patterns. We can load all these scenarios into the AI, and then we have a complete AI referee. The reason for this is because there's consistency. Just imagine if this happens and AI blows the whistle. It happens here, it will blow the whistle if it happens there. But at least AI decides. Not that humans are coming in to say this is a penalty kick, this is not a penalty kick, advice to review VR, not advice to review VR. They're the ones actually introducing the errors into VR. Because people can't really wrap their hands around VR these days. They're like, what is this thing solving? It's even making people more polarized. Like, this decision is incorrect. At the end of the day, there are people on the other side of the fence that are saying it's not a penalty. People are saying it's a penalty. It's dividing people in the game, and when this kind of divisions happen, people are like, that win was not for real because this kind of decision was made. So I think where we are headed is either they take out VR and we accept that we have human referees that make errors, or we fully automate the VAR and let's have a VR referee that is consistent across all the games.
Yeah, so I
Because
understand. I understand where you're coming from. Um, the mistake that they are trying to make in football is that they're trying to make it perfect, and in all honesty, the nature of the game is that it cannot be perfect. Yeah, it cannot. It cannot be perfect. But they are trying to make the game perfect, and this whole trying to make the game perfect is now introducing new problems into the game. One of which is inconsistency. Uh, Before now, we used to have errors. Referee make errors, and we accept it as part of the game. But in
exactly,
trying to now make the game perfect, there are still errors,
there are
inconsistency.
even errors that
We
are
have
worse than there are errors that are worse than when we used to just not have technology. Like,
exactly, exactly.
it's
And
mind
so
blowing at this
now
point.
you will see offside by just the tip of your finger or the tip of your shoulder. Like funny offsides
I think I saw the
that
other day
the referee
offside a
now
guy.
blows.
I think against Iran, the guy's foot was outside. Just his foot was outside. It was offside. Mexico, the guy's arm was outside. It was a goal. So I mean, I'm like, what? This maybe arms and legs. They're like they're not giving one. One has more priority than the other one.
So
But
they are
yes,
trying to make the game perfect, and that is really spoiling the game. And like you rightly said, people have said that VRO is now like you are over refereeing a game. Like there's a referee on the pitch, there's another referee. Like the refereeing is now too much. Like you are over refereeing a game, which
and
is not healthy.
to even make it worse, the football, as I said, there are so many fouls. They stop the game, stop the game, stop the game. Now in this World Cup, there's hydration breaks, stopping
Exactly.
the game 1,000 times. Do you know how many times hydration breaks have ruined the game for some teams? Whereby when after the hydration break, they lose momentum and the other team start pressing and they lose the game. Like, just the football is becoming something that we don't even recognize anymore.
I
I'm
think
not gonna
just
lie.
all in all, we just have to accept that it's not going to be perfect, and we should accept it to a large extent. Uh, and even if we want to use technology, let's just accept the fact that it's not
Goal
going to
line
be.
technology. See, to be honest, goal line technology offside. That's all we need from technology. Let's
Yeah,
use a real ref, or since everything is already there's already surveillance. We already have all these things. Let's have an AI referee that's consistent.
no,
That's blowing the
An
whistle
AI referee is not going to be practical at this moment.
at
Maybe in
this
the
moment.
future, but at this
But
moment, an
they're
AI
not trending.
referee
They're not trending
is
out of VAR right now. So I think that they would prefer to stick with a VAR setup. So if that's the case, and there's already AI, then load AI into that stuff, and let's forget about the referee. That's basically my opinion, because these inconsistencies, it's killing my love for the game. I'm not gonna lie. Senegal should have gone to full penalties with Belgium yesterday to decide our winner. That's my opinion. I feel like it was not the right call, and because if bro, I can guarantee you, if you bring scenarios, if you bring football scenarios and you play it frame by frame, you say me and you can be on two sides and say that's a foul, that's not a foul. You can bring us 100 frames and we'll not agree
yes,
because it's open to human interpretation. And so
exactly.
it's either we have consistency or not. It's killed the game for Senegal. It destroyed their ambitions in this tournament. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, and the game is not perfect. I don't see any time it's going to get perfect, and I think the earlier FIFA and all the football governing bodies accept that, the better. And we know we just accept a level of imperfection in it and not trying to make it perfect, then introducing inconsistency. I think if we can accept this, we'll go back to enjoying the game the way
No
it
this
used to
and
be.
no this and no peace. Guys, do you agree with us? Leave comments in the comment section, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.